And now, here we are again, once again. That's redundant. Here we are again, once again,
Here we are.
on the Forum from WSTU 1450. And you must know that if you're listening on the radio because you had to dial that to get the number.
That's right.
I have a guest with me today, and we've known each other for quite a long time. Her name is Yvette Cruz, and she is director of. Go ahead.
I am the consumer service specialist for the Council on Aging of St. Lucie County, and we have so many different services to offer, and that's what we're going to speak about today to bring more awareness to the community and let them know what's happening at the Council on Aging of St. Lucie.
All right. First of all, let's talk about Yvette.
My background?
Yeah, background.
Okay. Well, I entered the medical industry.
Back. Where'd you grow up?
Okay. Well, I grew up in New York City, childhood until I was about 20 years old, but I always had a dream to go to California. So when I turned 20 years old, I bought a big suitcase from Kmart, this big, and I packed it and took a one-way flight out to Los Angeles. And I lived there for 22 years.
Oh my God.
22 years. It was great. A great experience. I worked for the politicians in Los Angeles. She taught me so much and she empowered me. Her name was Wendy Gruhl. And after working for her, I just developed confidence and I can go anywhere. She taught me a great deal of writing skills because in politics, you have to learn writing is very important. And once you write it, it just sticks in your brain. And then when I came out to Florida, I landed in Port St. Lucie, and I, again, was working for the politicians, Mayor Fiala and Linda Bart and a lot of them. And it was a great experience for me. But then when Mayor Fiala did not win, I left and I said, what am I going to do next? And I took a look around St. Lucie County, and there's medical everywhere. And I took a class at IRSC and I entered into the medical world. And from there, I went into the home health industry, learned a lot, worked with Pat Sacco, worked with so many different people that are in the industry, learned a lot about Alzheimer's. I was on the Alzheimer's committee. We raised lots of funds. We did lots of events. And from there, I ended up getting a job with the Council on Aging of St. Lucie County, and all the knowledge that I learned in the 4 years that I entered the medical industry, I'm able to implement there.
Well, it's a good thing you moved from California to Florida because Florida is an inexpensive California.
Oh, I love it here.
You can buy a home here.
Yes, it's less stress too. Very less stress. You don't have to deal with the traffic.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. I look back and I say, how did I ever do that?
Yeah. Well, how'd you survive 22 years in New York City?
Yeah.
We lived about 6 hours from New York City.
Yeah.
And it was just good enough timing that on Friday after work, we'd jump in the car. We could be at our hotel by 11 and then stay overnight and go to a Broadway show on Saturday and come back on Sunday.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
You can do that here and where we are along the Treasure Coast. There's so many events. You can go to.
We got the marvelous Kravitz Center.
Kravitz Center. We have
They have the Riverside
Theater.
Riverside Theater in Vero Beach. Beautiful place.
Lots of places. Great talent out here too.
In fact, there's a small theater in the plaza where Staples used to be on US 1.
Okay.
Across from the Holiday Inn.
Okay. We're here in
Port St. Lucie. Staples was right there. Down about 4 or 5 stores to the south, there's a small theater. And they do a 2-person play.
That's wonderful. Like a little black box.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. That's where you find the greatest talent.
Yeah, and something like that is so neat. We used to do that when we lived in Rochester. We had like 4 couples, and once a month we would go out to dinner, and we would go to one of those small black box theaters.
That's wonderful.
And then we used to go to the library. We had a projector.
Yeah.
We'd go up to the office with some snacks and stuff, and we would get from the library canned films like the early Alfred Hitchcock English versions of the movies that he made here.
Interesting.
And old black and white stuff. And we would play them against the wall know, and have our
That
snacks
was
and stuff.
your
We
form of
really had a
entertainment.
lot of culture. It was really neat.
Yeah, that's why I like it out here. I think that a lot of people from New York City and all over the world came out here, and they bring all of that culture and talent with them.
Now, did you bring a family with you, or you've been traveling alone?
Well, I had family out here. I came to visit Port St. Lucie. When was it? In 2009, and kept going back and forth to LA. And one day I was just stuck in so much traffic in LA, and I was stressed out. And I said, I'm leaving. I'm done with this. And I came back to Port St. Lucie, and I got married here, and my kids, they came out to visit, but it was a little bit slow pace for them because they like that crazy life. But as they get older, they'll want the change. They're still too young for this.
Well, remember now, Florida is God's waiting room.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Now we come. I will not leave Florida unless I have to be hauled in a truck.
Me either.
Tied down.
That's
I mean,
wonderful.
I'm here for the duration.
Me too.
And
I love it here.
I suffered near Rochester and Buffalo with all the snow and the weather and for many years, and I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But
I love the nature out here. That's one of the things I love the most in California and in New York City. When you wake up in the morning, you can't hear the birds sing out here. You drink your coffee, and it's so peaceful. And the birds, they sing, and they sing different in different cities. Like Port St. Lucie has a different sound, and Stewart has a different sound. It's beautiful out here.
And it's urban, and yet it's not urban.
Yeah.
I mean, because we don't have a city block. We don't have a downtown area kind of thing. We're all spread out.
Yeah.
And yet I am so blessed to have been on this radio program for so long, because I have met more people. We've talked about more things that are unbelievable. What is going on in our community is unbelievable.
It is.
There's so many things, like finances, for instance. Oh, gee, we don't have money for this, don't have money for that. There are funds available in the local level, the city level, the state level, the federal level for programs. Churches have money.
Yes.
Okay, let's say you have a job and your car breaks down and you've got a family, you're just about making it now. You need $250 to fix that car, or else you're going to get fired. You can go to a church, and sometimes the church, if they have the funds, they'll write the check to the repair company.
I noticed that. Yeah, we have a lot of services at the Council on Aging, and we catch the majority of the seniors when they need help. But then for things like that, car or fixes or air conditioning fixes, we refer to local charities and Catholic churches.
And people respond. We have a phenomenal organization called COSA, which is a Council of Social Agencies.
Yes.
Now you don't have to be a nonprofit to join COSA, but and they have something that just. And one wonderful woman was largely responsible for this. It takes a village.
That's Leslie George. Yeah, she brought that program together.
It was done even before that with Stephanie Myers.
Stephanie too, yeah.
She sits there. And that what we're talking about, for people out there who don't know what Council of COSA is, it's an organization. They meet once a month, and they have the little business, and then they do something. It's kind of like a round table. There may be 20 or 30 people at the meeting.
Yep.
And it's a round table, and somebody might say, okay, here's my problem. I need a motorized wheelchair. Well, all of a sudden, somebody say, well, my neighbor has something like that. It might be for sale. Let me check that out. Or somebody might say, let me go down to the store where they sell them. I wonder if they take trades. Let's see what we can do. All of a sudden, everybody begins to brainstorm. And when you get a whole bunch of people, the answers come pouring out.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like, I don't know where to turn. I'm all alone. I got to figure this thing out. And it's a staffing. That's what it is. A staffing to figure out what to do next.
Definitely.
And people to reach out. And they have something called a listserv.
Yeah. So listserv is good. We participate at the Council on Aging. We're part of the listserv, and we put out our services. But COSA, Council on Social Agencies, they have a listserv where all of the members that are in the Council on Social Agencies, if they have a need or if they have something that they want to contribute, we're all in this one email server. Yeah, and we share those
There are several
services.
similar things that you have to pay for of that nature, but this COSA's free.
It's pretty much free.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the membership per year is $30.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
nothing for the services that you get and the people that you're networking with. It's a great investment, definitely. Yeah.
And some really nice people that you meet. You know, wherever I go, and I meet people that I've known. I was invited to go to a breakfast of an organization. It's Christian men and women, business people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There were like 30 people in the room. I knew 12 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever
12 is a lot.
I try to go to a new group, there are people there.
Yeah.
Or somebody says, you know, it's been 4 years since I've seen you. I said, where have you been?
Yeah.
Of course, the networking has helped a great deal.
Networking
with
is
people
great. It's brought a lot of
interacting
people
with people.
together.
Plus, our county is kind of our Treasure Coast, because I consider Vero Beach as part of the Treasure Coast.
There's kind of
a little controversy about that, but I like to bring them along anyway.
Yeah.
They're kind of cool. But between Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties, we're different than other counties in Florida. We have a different attitude. It's much more of a less threatening attitude, I think. A little more.
I think it's more of a community.
Yeah,
everybody knows everybody out here. And
see, what we're trying to do with the networking is when we get in that room, we want to go back to the 1960s.
Those were good times.
That everybody was friendly. We didn't, just poo-poo because you are a competitor, because I might be wearing your name tag next month.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
we're all,
treat everybody nice.
And we're all,
you never know who you're going to be.
And we're not
working
afraid.
For.
It's like we wouldn't lock our car or lock our door. When we're in that for about an hour and a half, it's like taking us back to a time that makes us feel good to be with people.
Yes, definitely.
And I've been to chamber meetings, and chamber meetings are wonderful. I don't knock them at all. But a lot of times I see people leaving a chamber meeting like, oh, boy, glad that's over. Kind of. And then, excuse me, I watch our people, and they're laughing and smiling. And
I see.
Okay, that's good. We can get them to laugh. That's fine.
Networking meetings. They're all good. They all mean well, the networking meetings.
Right.
Some are different than others.
Plus, Yvette did a beautiful thing a couple times with a great antique car show.
Yeah, actually, Dyer Chevrolet is such a good car company because they open up their doors. They provide grants, and they also open up the doors for us to do shows over at their dealership, and that kind of matches the funds to help us achieve whatever goal it is that we're trying to achieve. And right now at the Council on Aging, we're also trying to get more vans for our Meals on Wheels program.
This is a big thing right now, because you need 3.
Yes, we need 3 vans.
And the others you have right now are put together with spit and chewing gum.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a little bit about the Meals on Wheels program. It's feeling okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so the Meals on Wheels program, every single week we order over 1,220 meals. And 5 days a week, we deliver meals to the most vulnerable senior citizens throughout St. Lucie County, which covers Fort Pierce, all of Port St. Lucie, including Tradition, some parts of Hutchinson Island, just all throughout St. Lucie County. So we have three trucks. And those trucks have over 200,000 miles. They are unreliable
Mhm.
trucks, but they're in and out of the repair shop, and we just do our best to try to get those meals delivered to our senior citizens every single day. Even if it means that the truck breaks down and we have to take our own cars, we do that. So we're on a mission right now. We're trying to reach a goal, and we're hoping within the next few months we'll be able to raise at least $30,000 to purchase 3 vans. We've been meeting with dealerships to see if they'll give us some matching funds. We're going to meet with businesses and create events and just do what we have to do to raise the funds to get those meals delivered to the homes and to the
Now,
seniors.
do you have matching funds right now?
We just started this project a little bit over a week ago, and so far Dyer did offer for us to apply for their grant, but I know that there's other things out there. So we are becoming members of the Economic Development Commission, and hopefully from there we'll be able to identify some really important businesses that will help us reach our goal. So that's a plan.
And then you can do something for them
Yeah, we always
in the
we
form of some
reciprocate.
advertising.
We
Thank you. I love businesses. Okay, and I hope that everybody owns a business becomes very successful, because that's the American way.
That's right.
Okay,
We
but
work together.
especially when they look beyond their window and from their office, especially when they're looking at something for the community.
That's right.
Whether it's $10 to buy some cookies for a Girl Scout, or it's doing a $500 sponsorship for a walk,
Right.
or spending. What about everybody should give you about $10,000?
I think
Let's get it going.
10,000.
Let's get 10,000. Then
We
you can
are
do
a
some neat stuff.
501c3
right?
nonprofit organization. It's completely tax write off. You can write it off. We are offering for whoever steps up to the plate to wrap the vehicle in their logo, and we drive all over St.
Yeah,
Lucie
right,
County.
right.
That's one component. And if we have an event, we'll invite whatever press is out there and turn it into something where people are aware of what the community is doing and how they're coming together to help our most vulnerable senior citizens. Yeah.
There are merchants, business entrepreneurs, professional people that will reach out to help the community. There
Yeah.
are those out there.
Yeah.
And again, it isn't like going to, you're in your home and I come in and I knock on the door and say, hey, you know what? We need $30,000 for the vans. Oh, okay. That's not the way this works. That $30,000 could come from 30,000 people for $1 a piece.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
And I know we have plenty of adults that are more than 30,000 adults in this community.
Can you imagine that? Everybody pitching $1?
Everybody pitching $1.
Come
Everybody
over,
pitching, make a donation. And again, as a business, what would it cost me to have a car? What do you call it? We put the logo and stuff on it.
If to wrap the car,
wrapping.
To wrap the car, I don't know how much it would cost. I'm sure over $1,000. But if you look at the bigger picture, we're driving all over St. Lucie County, and that's 1,200.
1,200 more.
If one is advertising through a billboard that's stationary, that's going to cost $600 to $700 a month.
More than that. I think up around 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the idea is a great out of the box idea of what we could do to reciprocate for those that do help us out.
If you took 200,000 miles that vehicle would drive, all right, and divided by that $10,000 you donate, how much a mile are you giving?
I'm horrible with math.
I mean, that's hardly anything at all.
Yeah, nothing. That's true.
And I think all of us want to somehow pay it forward.
Yeah.
Somehow pay it forward.
Yeah.
Let's say you meet a young 17-year-old girl who's in Florida, wants to go to Los Angeles. So you're going to go buy a big suitcase. You might, I bet you if you sat down and talked to her a little bit, might change her perspective on things.
Yeah.
Because you were there, you did it. You got to pay it forward to maybe ward off some of the problems that she had or is going to have.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I
again, if
think,
we
yeah.
had that done to us
Yeah.
earlier in our lives, we probably would have taken a different path
Maybe
or
would
gotten
have
there
and
quicker.
stayed.
It isn't like you're rich, but you're not poor.
Right.
Okay.
Never. As
And
long as you have food on the table.
I didn't know I was poor until I left my town because everybody had the same thing.
Same thing. You didn't see a
Hardly,
different.
hardly
You saw things
anything.
from a different perspective once you left.
And
But
the whole thing. There was a big factory, two factories in town,
yeah.
and one was we made railroad cars, box cars, and coal cars. Well, all my family and I worked in that place for a while. Dirty, filthy, crappy. Oh God, it was like a nightmare to work there.
Yeah.
Steel
Yeah.
tip shoes, protective glasses, earphones,
Oh gosh.
noise. Uh, Then there was a canning factory. That I think that was what was it? One of the more popular like Comstock. That's what it was. Comstock will make like applesauce and cans of fruit and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And so your dream was to get into one of those jobs and work really hard and maybe become a supervisor in that building. Or if you went to work at Publix, maybe you could be the assistant produce manager.
Right.
Those were the dreams that they had. And I'm not saying that was wrong, but there's more. There could be more
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
There could be.
You know,
There could be. Yeah, those were good dreams. They still are. We're going back to those time, the brick and mortar times.
but we should be going back anyway.
Yeah.
Now we should be going back. Now we should encourage people and to stay in a positive way. You can't be rich anymore working for someone. Okay, you have to be
No.
on your
You
own,
have to be
basically.
an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Think about things.
This little clip, I'm going to do an
Oh,
advertisement
look
here.
at that.
This is called Reader Rest, R-E-S-T. Okay, it's a very strong magnet inside of a little plastic thing that clips on your shirt. Now, for a woman, they probably might want to wear it here, but they could wear it on their sleeve or on the side of their blouse.
Yeah.
And if you take your glasses, all you have to do is slide this little sucker in there, and it doesn't fall off.
That's great.
How many times you're looking for your glasses and they're on your head?
I put mine on my head all the time. Those are.
But-
That's like Shark Tank.
It is. It was.
Was it?
He came and pitched this for $10.
Okay.
I don't know how much it cost to make. It was hardly. I think the magnets were the most important, most expensive thing. And the four guys, each one of them said, "You're wasting our time. Get out of here." And Lori Grenier, the blonde, said, "Come here." She made a deal with him, put him on QVC. He had $500,000 worth of product. He sold out that night. And in 3 years, ready for this? He has sold $30 million of this clip.
Oh, isn't that a dream?
He has a silver one, a black one. Now he has one that has little sunglasses on the front
Yeah.
and a couple other new
That's
devices.
wonderful.
But how would this guy ever make $30 million doing something else, working for someone? Never.
No.
You have a little idea
Yeah.
and you push that little idea. And that whole thing about Shark Tank, there are people that go on Shark Tank that don't care whether they get a deal or not.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get the exposure from the show.
That's true. That's advertisement.
And
Right
a
there.
lot of people will call them right afterwards and say, well, we don't care what Kuban said. We're going to buy your product anyway.
Yep. I think that's a great idea because it's not the person who invented it didn't only receive the money or didn't become a millionaire. He helped so many lives. So
Yeah,
there was a give and take in that. That's if
right.
you have.
And then
I'm always losing my glasses. I have to call the restaurants and I leave my glasses there.
I buy them by the 5-pack, and I
Yeah.
got them all over. A couple in the car, a couple. So I'm always, they're always within reach because
Yeah,
they break a lot.
yeah.
One broke yesterday. This a new box pair.
Yeah.
And the people who are successful really can bring in programs. Tiger Woods, what he's doing with kids right now with golf. James Patterson has
Mhm.
this whole big thing about children reading. J.K. Rowling dropped down from being a billionaire because she's donated so much money to charitable institutions, and she was well over $1 billion.
It's paying it
Bill
forward.
Gates and his wife bought computers with satellite connections for African children
That's great.
to learn through the computer. I mean, That's what we need to do.
That's a heart of service.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And if I have a good business and I'm doing it, I get more trade. I get more business. Somebody's going to come to me and say, "Well, you've helped the community. I'm going to shop with
That's
you."
right. That's
You know.
true.
And,
Well,
and the thing I know
the council,
we're
yeah,
wandering around this,
a
but
little. Oh,
this
you're
is
leading up to that.
no, this is a really big important thing to get those vans.
Yeah, I wanted to review some of the services that we offer at the Council on Aging so that your
Well,
audience gets a better understanding of what we do in St. Lucie County. So,
Let's talk about some of the programs.
yeah. Okay. So the Council on Aging is a nonprofit organization which was founded in 1973 in St. Lucie County just by a few people. Daryl Drummond, he is the chief executive officer. He is one of the founders of the organization. And some of the services that we provide at the Council on Aging are we have an adult daycare. It is the cheapest in town and the most quality adult daycare in town. We have free transportation, which allows us to pick senior citizens up from their home, bring them over to the center. They can, if they do sign up with the adult daycare, they get free breakfast, lunch, and then light snack, and they get to participate in some of the activities. Some of the free programs that we have are our senior citizens. They can participate in the activities. The transportation, again, is free. We can pick them up at their home. They can come over to our center in Port St. Lucie. And we have another center in Fort Pierce and socialize with other seniors, and so that they're not isolated. It's a great way that we have found a great opportunity for seniors to come together and socialize and prevent the isolation, and that in turn keeps them out of the nursing home. That's our goal, our mission at the Council on Aging of St. Lucie County is nursing home diversion. I see them every day. They start trailing into the office around 9 a.m. in the morning. They go over to the dining room. They watch TV. They talk. They read together, and then around 11 o'clock, then around 10:30, they have lunch for free, congregated meals, and then they participate in activities. And then around 1 o'clock, they're done. They hop on a bus and they go back home.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. While we're taking a breath now, oh, excuse me. I'm here. Here I am. I said, because I was sitting back there. While we're stopping right now, why don't we squeeze in a little commercial and we'll be right back. And we're back again here on the forum with Yvette Cruz from the Office of Aging.
Council on Aging
Council on,
of
I keep
St.
saying it.
Lucie County.
Council on
a lot.
Aging.
You're going to come over for a tour and you're going to have it down
Yeah,
by
then,
the time.
then you're going to make me stay for some activities.
Yeah. We'll take good care of you.
Just give me snacks. I'm fine.
Wonderful.
That's right. You did work for the mayor.
Yeah, I did work for her, and I still work with her. We talk to her all the time. Once a mayor, always a mayor.
She's a neat lady.
Yeah,
I've always had a
is.
good response with her. You know,
Yeah.
she's a very comfortable person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually she's working for an urgent care. Yeah, now.
Still.
And she's a CEO or COO or of an urgent care.
The person who does the work, yes. Chief
Yep.
Operating Officer.
Yes, she is.
The executive officers watch the
Yeah,
COO's work.
that's right.
Funding for this program. Now, I know
Okay.
I was on the advisory council for the Area Agency on Aging, which is
Mhm.
now your Aging Resource Center.
Yep. That's
We
right.
do 2 3-year appointments. So I was there for 6 years. Then I got put up to Tallahassee on the advisory council for the Department of Elder Affairs for 2 years. And boy, did I learn a lot.
Yeah.
I found the most dedicated people in Tallahassee. I didn't want to go, seriously, because I thought, I don't want to get the politics of this crap, you know.
Ah,
People in fighting. And I didn't see any of that. I saw people willing
Working?
to help.
Yeah.
Like somebody said, you know, that they're not doing as well with this program, and we still got an extra $4,000.
Good.
Can anybody use that for the next 6 months? I mean, you know, in their meetings and stuff, they were dividing up the monies. They were doing all kinds of neat things to help people.
Right.
And,
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
obviously, everything, there's nothing free. There's nothing free.
No.
Somebody's got to pay for it somewhere along the line. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm not being political,
Okay. I see where you're going.
but these
It is
services
tax
are not
dollars.
free. These come from tax dollars.
Yep.
Now
Taxpayers.
we have funding. What the thing is, let's say the Indian River County wants to apply for some kind of a grant. They want to do Meals on Wheels up there. Okay. They apply to the Area Agency on Aging. And then the contract is awarded if they get that contract.
Yeah, that's what
You guys were contracted.
we were.
Laura Zell Kramer's job is contracted through the Area Agency with
hers is
Morris
too.
Life.
Okay, that's interesting
Okay.
to know. I always wonder how Morris Life works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so we have these programs that are done.
Yeah.
The foster grandparent program,
Yeah.
that's another one that works with it. Shine is another program.
Yep.
So they get federal and state funds. Now, I
Mhm.
don't know how much, I don't know if the federal,
I don't know
whether it's
well,
an
we get-
80-20 balance or something.
I actually don't. I'm not in the financial operations, but we do get funding from the Area Agency on Aging for a lot of different programs. Some of the programs are we get to help senior citizens keep their electricity on 2 times a year if they qualify, and obviously on Social Security, they're going to qualify, and they just have to bring in a small amount of paperwork because we do get it audited by the Area Agency on Aging, and they send us the funding. It is federal tax dollars that come down to us, and then there's 2 seasons, a heating season and a cooling season, and each season a senior that qualifies can have their electricity bill paid for up to $600, and sometimes we can help with the air condition as well.
Mm.
So that's some of the services that we get funded for. There's also caseworkers at the Council on Aging, and we get funding from the Area Agency on Aging, where with the funding that we get, we can send our caseworkers out to homes to assess a problem, and they could send in-home service for bed baths or help with preparing meals and just helping senior citizens reach their daily goals every single day. So
Mhm.
we do get federal funding. How much? I'm not in finance, so I don't know, but it's a good chunk. Yeah,
I
it
think there's some
helps
state
us.
fund,
It
state
helps
monies
us.
in there too.
There's state funding.
Yeah.
We get federal funding for our transportation. So there's two different types of transportation. Our Meals on Wheels is not free, but for senior citizens that need transportation to their doctor's appointments or to go grocery shopping, or even just to come over to our center, there is free transportation. And I actually have a phone number if there's a senior out there that wants to sign up for our transportation program. It's called the St. Lucie Alternative Public Transportation System. And to sign up, you would call 772 464 7433.
Again, slowly.
It's 772 464 7433. And we have operators that do the intake. And after 3 weeks, you'll get a card in the mail if you're a senior citizen, 60 years and older. And they'll take you to your doctor's appointments. They'll take you grocery shopping. They'll bring you over to our center where you can come and participate with the rest of the senior citizens. Wednesday is a hot day. Bingo. We get a lot of seniors coming over to Council on Aging of Port St. Lucie on Wednesdays, and they take the transportation that we have available for free.
And you have Saturday programming.
No, unfortunately, we do not have Saturday programming.
Oh, this is for SLATs.
Yeah, SLATs.
That's Monday through Saturday.
Oh, for SLATs, yeah, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
For Council on Aging is not. I'm sorry.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, basically.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And again, they could call 772-464-7433 to find out more about the program, because I just know a little bit about it. But the operators, they can get more into detail on everything. Yeah. So yeah, there's so many different services. I mean, the activities, bingo, card game, ceramics. That's a nice class too. It's some of the activities, there is a fee, but a very minimal fee, and it's for the material. So for instance, the ceramics, it's about $3, and you participate for a couple of hours with about a group of 20 senior citizens, and they make beautiful pottery.
I'm going to pass along a little story for you. See if you're going to use it at the daycare center. There was a gentleman who had dementia, and his wife wanted to get him to go to daycare. Well, he wouldn't hear of it.
Yeah.
He would, no.
Not me.
She said, well, what did they do there? Well, she said, I'm not going to go there for free. They're going to pay me if I have to go to work there. Well, she arranged with them to have him paid. And he was going to get his money on Friday. And they took one of these little envelopes, like the old-fashioned envelopes they put money in, and put $3 in it. So at the end of Friday, they'd say, go get your pay. And he would get the envelope, and he'd go up to his wife and say, here, put this in the bank. And he was the assistant. He helped people with moving their wheelchairs. He helped clean up the tables. Because he was getting paid.
He was getting paid.
And it was the same $3. She turned around and handed it to this guy.
Well, that was a good way to get him to participate.
Because sometimes I want to be paid for it.
Yeah.
I said, why? Why do you want to be paid?
Yeah.
Well, because, you may get paid later in a different kind of way.
Right, right. I had a senior that came over to the center recently, and same scenario. He said, "Oh, I'm not going to go to the activities room. I'm not going to participate with the other seniors." I said, "Well, what if you read and bring all of your Reader's Digest?" Because he was trying to get rid of these Reader's Digest magazines. And I said, "I'm sure that the other seniors and the dining hall would love to read Reader's Digest." And he got so excited to come to bring the Reader's Digest. And they actually took the magazines. That's something, a magazine from back in their days, and that they do like to read. So he brought, he's a collector of Reader's Digest. They're still in packages. So he brought them over. So it just empowered him and made him feel like he's contributing something.
Exactly. But I have to laugh and say, I mean, okay, if you have a need, you're going to either have a little poodle, and it's either eating dog food or taking your medicine. I mean, there are people in that category, but
Yeah.
not tons of them. But there's still people in great needs. But other people have at least some comfort.
Yes. Yes.
I'm never going to own a Lamborghini or a Lotus Europa. Never going to own one of those beautiful cars. Why would I pine about that?
Yeah.
I have a Chevy Sonic from Dyer Chevrolet.
Yeah.
I love Chevy Sonic, and it takes me where I want to go.
Right.
And I chose that because I didn't want to be strapped the rest of my life, paying all kinds of money for a car I can't afford. So certain things I can afford and certain things I can't afford.
Right.
But the point is, I have a vehicle. I can afford that.
That's right.
And I'm grateful for
grateful. Yeah.
that. We just have to stop and think once in a while, where are we? What are we doing? And how lucky are we?
Yeah.
How lucky we are,
Yeah, I'm grateful every day when I wake up and I get to live this life.
Well, there's a cute little expression. When I wake up in the morning, I say, okay, I survived another day. Because one day I'm going to be right. Or I'm going to be wrong.
That's true.
And I want to be able to not prepare for that day, but not to get way behind.
Yeah.
Not to get way behind.
Yeah.
And if I love you, I'm going to say that I love you. It's okay. I can say that. Because I don't want somebody to say, when I'm gone and you're up on the pulpit saying, oh, I love that man. If you can't tell him, what's the point of telling a congregation where the guy's already dust?
That's true.
We get so uptight sometimes about relationships and stuff. It's okay.
Right.
It's part of a friendship.
That's right.
The
good and the bad. And
the more people we're comfortable with, the less we're afraid.
Right. Right. That's true.
If you walk in the store and you see somebody that it makes it a little special trip for them. For me, anyway.
I know. It sends that spark.
Wow, yeah. Hey.
Wow.
That's happened to me 3 or 4 times in the last couple of weeks. Person I haven't seen in a long time either.
Yeah. There's this salsa singer, Julian, and I hadn't seen him for a long time. And I walked into a grocery market, Winn-Dixie, I think it was, and I saw him there. I was so excited to see him. It felt so good. And then afterwards, we grabbed lunch and then we left just a little bit more happier. Those are special moments in our life when I don't think they're coincidental. I think they're meant to happen.
Well, I would even go so as far to call them as a God moment.
Right. God moments.
No reason why it would have happened.
Right.
Other than it happened.
It happened.
Things sometimes fall into place. Like, how did that happen?
Right.
Yeah.
I get that. I really do. That's when you start seeing life in a different way. So, when we're younger, we're so beautiful. We look at ourselves in the mirror. But as we start maturing in life, we are so in touch with that soul that's inside of us, and it's connected to each person.
It's like,
my soul is connected to you.
Right. It's like the first thing you notice about a person when you meet them is their physical characteristics.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's handsome, tall, whatever. Or let's say you're going out with a guy and you're getting engaged and you're getting married, and after a little bit of marriage, you get discouraged saying, "You don't ever tell me how pretty I am."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I know you're pretty." We sort of don't look at that anymore. We look at you as a person, not your outer beauty. But what about your inner beauty?
Right.
I know some people are just outer beauty and ugly inside.
They're monsters.
Yes. Because they've never had to work at a personality.
Yeah. Yeah, those encounters are wonderful. I know exactly what you mean. And when they do happen, I don't take them for granted, and I appreciate them. I love, there's so many special people.
So you're going to live every day as if it's the last day of your life.
Yes, I do. Robert Novato, he's so awesome. When you see him, you get so excited. He's a talented musician. We have so much talent in Port St. Lucie. It's amazing to have an artist like that.
What about the Highwaymen?
Highwaymen are, I had an event at Dyer Chevrolet and I invited them. I didn't think that they were going to come and they came. They came
Mhm.
out. They support so many different things. Yeah.
We got people that support a lot. What about Scott
Van Duzer?
Van Duser? Talk about
Yeah.
supporting the community.
That's true. I'm going to have to hit him up.
No, I didn't mean to suggest that. But, Scott's right there. And when something happens, very quietly, boom, let's get this done. Let's,
Good, yeah.
raise some money. Let's help these people.
Yeah, he's good. When I used to work for Mayor Fayella, I remember him doing a bicycle race all the way up to Washington, D.C., I think it was. Yeah. He does a lot of good things. And it's quiet, so you don't know
Why
about
does
all
he
of the
do
things
them?
that he does. I think he's just like us. He's just a good person that wants to give back to the community, pay it forward.
Exactly. And he just wants to do it because that's something he feels like he needs to do.
Yeah.
And that's the best kind of volunteer in the world you can get.
That's true. That's true.
Somebody because it just
They
needs.
just-
And why I do what I do? Simple. It needs to be done. That's it.
Yeah.
That end of story.
Yeah. I'm the same way. That's part of that spirit that you have inside you. You feel it fulfilled inside when you're giving something back.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So
See, need that. Anyway, listen, I know we probably could spend another couple hours talking about Council on Aging.
Yes.
And
let's see if I got everything that I saved.
There's
one thing I'm missing. Yes, we're gonna have a fair.
yeah, the
That's
fair, right.
That's
right.
what we came here for. Nellie. Okay, so on April 16th at the Council on Aging, we're going to have a spring carnival. And we're partnering with WellMed and Better Life. And the address is 2501 Southwest Bayshore Boulevard in Port St. Lucie, Florida. If you want to learn more about it, you can call us at 772-336-8608. Just to give you a little bit about the event. It is kind of like a health fair. We have a guest social worker that's coming in to speak. It's the name of the person is Dr. Jamie Huseman, and she is a licensed social worker, or he is a licensed social worker.
Yeah, right.
And we have 26 vendors, including the Florida Department of Health.
And the Alzheimer's and Parkinson's Association of the Treasure Coast.
Let's see, who else? WellMed and Vitas,
which is the new hospice program in the area.
Yeah. So if I invite everybody in the community to come on out, it's a great way to get free health screenings and also to learn more about the Council on Aging and all of the services that we provide. And again, the address is 2501 Southwest Bayshore Boulevard in Port St. Lucie on April 16th. That's a Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And I will be there at 11 with Nellie's permission because I'll be here until 10.
Okay.
And I got to drive up.
Yeah.
But
Good.
I'll tell you what, I'll be there after 11 o'clock. And everybody listening, if you want a special little flashlight, remind me when you come to my little table and say, I heard you on radio, I'll give you a little special flashlight that you'll use during hurricanes, by the way.
Good.
Yes, you will.
That's good.
I'm not going to give them out in general, only the people that are listening.
Good. Okay. So what did I say again?
The special flashlight.
Special flashlight.
Right.
Yeah. So we know who was listening. Yeah. So let's see, community resource, free screen. Oh, we're gonna have some food. I don't know what food is going to be there, but we will have lunch for the event.
Very good. Very good.
So,
well, the health fair or a carnival type of thing, I like them as long as there's not a whole lot of noise and music.
Yeah.
Because when an elderly person comes to your table, they many times are hard of hearing.
That's true.
And when you introduce noise, music, and background, you can't have a conversation.
No, that's true.
But,
we'll probably have prizes too. Usually baskets.
Yeah, we're going to be doing another. It's a little bit different than a health fair. We have an organization uh, a separate little organization that we give lectures on various healthcare issues. Okay, and we did a health fair type thing at the Polish American Club in October.
Okay.
We may be doing one up in Tradition, but we have like learning and health fair together.
Good.
We might have a Zumba class. We might have a class in yoga.
That's good.
You know, little things
Those are
that'll break
good.
up, going around and look at the tables and stuff with a soft DJ music playing throughout the whole thing.
Very
We had a
soft.
we had a lunch wagon out in the parking lot. We had a lady selling Italian ice inside the health fair.
Okay.
Just a little touch on a
Yeah.
little more comfort.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're
Not
going to
too
be
over
putting
the
that
top.
together too
Great.
soon. Well,
That's
anyway,
good.
we're about wrapping
Has it
up
been
this
an
program.
hour already?
Of course,
Oh.
we're already. And are we about ready to say goodbye, Mr. Evan? Yeah, we're
We
saying
have one.
L for love. Oh,
Love.
that's not an L, that's a 1.
Love.
Don't push your thumb out now. Bang.
Nice being on the show. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you for being here. By the way, you mentioned Vitas. They're going to be on here next week.
Oh, good. Good.
They're a new for-profit hospice association.
That's good.
And so far, they've been excellent. They have been excellent.
That's
We
good. Lots of
want-
good stuff. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and we'll
Adios.
see you again next week on The Forum.